Chosen one, this isn't just a video. This is a moment your spirit has been waiting for. You didn't land here by chance. You've been guided, pulled by something greater than logic. Maybe you don't have words for it yet, but you can feel it. That sense that something in your life is on the edge of awakening. That's not coincidence. That's calling. Right now, all the noise around you needs to fade, because this is sacred ground. You are not just here to be inspired. You're here because heaven is handing you keys. Keys to a breakthrough your mind couldn't predict, but your soul has already started receiving. You've always known you were different, not better, set apart. The way you think, the way you carry truth, the way life has stretched you, it all prepared you for this hour. And deep down, even through the pain, you knew something powerful was forming. Guess what? This is it. This is not entertainment. This is activation. So before we go deeper, I need you to do 3 things, not for the algorithm, but as an act of agreement. Hit the like button. You're not just supporting, you're saying yes to what's coming. Subscribe, not just to this channel, but to the version of yourself that's finally ready to rise. Drop 55 in the comments, not just a number, but a spiritual signature. It tells the universe, I'm aligned, I'm awake, I'm walking in it now. If you're truly chosen, something inside you already knows this message is for you. You won't just watch, you'll feel it. And by the end, don't be surprised if you can't go back to how life looked before. Because after divine alignment, nothing stays the same. Now breathe deep. Stay with me. Your moment has arrived. There are moments that do not repeat themselves, portals disguised as ordinary nights. But this isn't ordinary. This is one of those rare alignments where the unseen meets the seen and whispers become instructions. Not everyone will hear it. Not everyone is meant to. But the ones who feel that quiet, internal pull, who sense the pause in the air before the shift, they know something sacred is arriving. In this window of time, the usual rules bend. The natural becomes fluid, and what was once unreachable brushes close to your spirit. It is not a metaphor. It is an energetic convergence where what surrounds you responds to what lives in you. Like a broadcast only heard on a specific frequency, this moment waits for those tuned by preparation, not noise. It's subtle, but seismic, a cosmic hand reaching into your timeline. You may notice a vibration through your body, a stillness in your thoughts, or a knowing you can't explain. That's not coincidence, it's a signal. The energetic field shifts in waves, and those waves respond to alignment. The divine does not need drama. It flows to intention. If you're awake, truly awake, the moment will not pass you. It will land directly on you. And to receive it, preparation is not optional. It is sacred obedience. Begin with your atmosphere. Reset your environment like a temple, readying for arrival. Clear the air. Dispel static. Ground your mind. No distractions, no noise, no clutter. And most importantly, speak. Yes, speak. Declare out loud what your spirit already knows. You are available. You are aligned. You are here. Nothing about your path is by accident. Every detour, every delay, every cry in silence, all of it led to this convergence. The very energy of creation waits for your yes. Not a passive yes, but a conscious activation. Full surrender, no half-stepping. Let your declaration echo. I'm prepared. I accept. I step into what is waiting. Feel God's love stirring within you. Don't let it stop there. Hit the super thank you button and sow a seed of $20 or more. That simple act can ignite hope, heal hearts, and carry His love further than you imagine. You were made to shine His light. This is your moment. Be the miracle someone's been praying for. Let heaven move through you. Energy responds to intention. Spirit recognizes readiness. And the only thing required of you now is the courage to believe this moment is not random. It is a coded opening in your destiny. One breath of belief, one whisper of agreement, and everything begins to shift from the inside out, not by force, by alignment. This is not wishful thinking. This is sacred architecture unfolding in real time. Not every night pulls the veil back, but when it does not knock, it enters. And when it enters, the body responds before the mind even understands. Some will rise tomorrow with a glow no skincare could deliver. Others will feel a weight vanish that medicine couldn't explain. The shift won't be seen. It will be felt. This isn't about superstition or aesthetics. It's about internal systems unlocking where resistance used to live. Some circuits will reboot tonight. Exhaustion that sat in your bones like cement will melt. Emotional fog will lift, not because of sleep, but because your energy finally breathes without static. Honor the transition. Don't treat the next few hours as ordinary. Empty your space of clutter, inside and out. Fast from drama. Silence your phone. Saturate the air with breath, stillness, intention. Touch your chest and tell your body, we are open. We receive restoration. We allow release. That's not a chant. It's instruction to the nervous system, and it obeys. Because the realm, about to open, responds to coherence, not chaos. It aligns with trust, and only those in harmony with it experience the pulse. It won't knock twice. This is not some gentle cosmic rehearsal. It's a corridor that vanishes if you hesitate. In this higher field, energy doesn't crawl. It launches. Thought moves like lightning. The moment you believe, things already begin building themselves. This isn't future talking. This is now activation. If you've journaled, prayed, envisioned, planted, tonight is where roots break the ground and manifest. Miss it, and it's not just another delay, it's a missed convergence. The kind that only shows up when soul and source speak the same frequency. This night is a contract. Be present when it arrives. And if you're truly listening, keep stillness close. Clarity comes in the hush between thoughts. Instructions may arrive as images, chills, or sudden knowing. Don't brush them off. Write them down. Anchor them. Because once this portal closes, those insights become marching orders for a new timeline. One you don't want to miss. Step beyond the screen. Join and help light the way for others. Some energies speak through silence, but tonight, the current speaks through water, not as a metaphor, but as memory in motion. Science has only recently begun to confirm what spirit knew. Molecules remember frequency, and when you infuse that frequency with sacred intention, it becomes more than a substance. It becomes instruction. Salt and water together do not represent cleansing. They become a coded conductor of transformation. When charged with alignment, they translate spirit into matter. It is not mystical, it's mechanical, just on a level beyond what textbooks teach. Dip your fingers, touch your temple, your chest, your palms. Say what your soul needs to hear. Speak words that reshape how your system stores fear and resets how your nervous system holds light. That water is not just on your skin. It becomes instruction for your cells. As you rest tonight, it doesn't just sit in the room. It speaks into it. Like a living transmitter, it becomes a beacon, drawing higher energies that recognize resonance. You're not purifying out of habit. You're tuning your environment to a wavelength Only the divine understands. And in that tuning, something begins. A subtle activation, one not visible in mirrors, but echoed in the way rooms shift when you enter. Animals pause longer, conversations soften, eyes linger. It's not aesthetic, it's energy reintroducing itself. This ignition isn't dramatic, it's seismic in softness. Not everyone will feel it the same, but everyone will feel something. Maybe laughter that comes from nowhere. Maybe tears that don't need a reason. Maybe your spine catching a gentle temperature shift with no physical source. Don't explain it. Let it happen. Let go of analysis and lean into awareness. You're not losing logic. You're accessing layers deeper than it can reach. You don't need to understand it to allow it. Cleanse, not just the body, but the field around it. Move objects that hold stale echoes. Wipe down more than dust. Wipe emotional residue from your air. If it holds memory of pain, release it. Make space for the upgrade coming through. This is sacred engineering. You're not decorating, you're building a bridge between dimensions. Speak clearly. I choose harmony. I open this space for alignment. What doesn't belong must leave. And as your thoughts slow, let them pass like birds in migration. No need to chase, no need to resist. Just breathe. This is the gateway opening, and you are the temple it chooses to pass through. Feel God's love stirring within you. Don't let it stop there. Hit the super thank you button and sow a seed of $20 or more. That simple act can ignite hope, heal hearts, and carry His love further than you imagine. You were made to shine His light. This is your moment. Be the miracle someone's been praying for. Let heaven move through you. Transformation does not arrive shouting through static. It waits for you to drop the volume of everything else. Insight enters only when the internal landscape is quiet enough to host it. You're not here to perform. You're here to align. There's a framework encoded into this moment. Not random, not vague, but deeply intelligent. Open space, declare intent, receive essence. This is not ceremony for tradition's sake. It is a living algorithm. Step 1. Build the atmosphere. When you clear physical clutter and emotional fog, you're not just tidying, you're shaping spiritual architecture. Make the room match the depth of the shift you seek. Step 2. Release sound as command. Speak out what already lives in your spirit. Say it with weight. The unseen world responds to certainty, not suggestion. State your alignment, your evolution, your breakthrough as facts, not wishes. Step 3. Hold the space to collect. Many stop here, blocked not by resistance, but by reluctance to accept what they've prayed for. But you won't shrink at the doorstep. You'll breathe it in. Let it land. Let your body hold what your voice called in. No bargaining, just openness. Nothing in this moment requires performance, only presence. You don't have to prove you're worthy. You already are. All of this responds not to perfection, but to preparation. You've been questioning the pause, asking why the release hasn't come. But the wait was never denial. It was calibration. Now the gate has widened, and you're in position. This isn't about small wins. It's about complete alignment across everything from your thoughts to your finances. What you've tried to build in the old structure could never hold what's coming. This moment is a frequency leap. No logic, no delay, just immediate delivery when the current fits. You don't chase what now finds you. The shift has already started. All you do is match it. Set intention, clear distractions. Imagine life with the limitations removed, then let reality bend toward you. Miracles respond to readiness, not resistance. You're no longer asking, you're allowing. Step beyond the screen. Join and help light the way for others. When the atmosphere shifts, the body becomes a compass. You may notice unfamiliar warmth in your chest, surges through your spine, or a pressure at your brow. Not discomfort, but spiritual voltage syncing with your system. What you feel is your circuitry adapting to new instruction. Some will shiver, some will sob, some will simply breathe and know without knowing why. These aren't symptoms, they're signs that your vessel is responding. Let your body move the way it needs to. Lay down, hum, stretch, cry, be still. Your system has memory older than speech. It knows how to translate divine frequency better than your mind does. Trust it. Do not interrupt the process with questions. You're not broken, you're being rebuilt. Stay present. Feel everything. Let this wave complete its work. There's nothing to force. Just breathe, soften, and allow the update. The download already began. There are hours that don't simply pass, they open. Moments when time bends inward, and the silence is not absence, but an invitation. In this stretch of the early morning, long before routine stirs, the atmosphere shifts, not metaphorically, tangibly. Something unseen presses close. Not everyone notices, but those tuned in can feel it like a gentle vibration under their skin. The air changes shape. The soul listens differently. This isn't folklore or fable. This is patterned in cosmic rhythm, echoed through spiritual lineages across centuries. Call it what you want. The watch, the gate, the crossing, but know this, it's real. The signals become clear, and what you ask in this space doesn't bounce back. It lands somewhere. You are not dreaming. You are aligning. Make it practical. Set the hour. Prepare before rest, not just physically, but intentionally. Don't rely on memory. Bring ink and paper to your altar or nightstand. Notebooks do what phones cannot. They don't compete with sacred flow. Words that come during this sacred window are rarely casual. They arrive as fragments, but they carry futures. A name you scribble now may become someone you're meant to help. A sentence may hold an idea that shifts your career path or unlocks healing. God doesn't send paragraphs. He sends pulses. You catch them mid-dream or half awake. You feel urgency to write something strange. And you should, because the holy often arrives looking simple. Record first, question later. Honor what arrives, even if it makes no sense. You are not imagining, you're receiving. Creation begins in thought, before it ever touches form. What this moment offers is not more hope, but raw material. Reality responds fastest when the inner voice speaks without contradiction. That's why alignment matters. Think clearly, speak cleanly, feel fully. If your desire is truth and your words match your spirit, then reality will bend toward it. Not in fantasy, in function. You'll start to see things form without friction. Feel joy as if it's already here. Walk in peace as if it has already cleared your path. Don't just ask, embody. Don't just visualize. Merge with the outcome. This realm doesn't answer begging. It echoes clarity. Speak what's meant for you with reverence and command. Let your inner world echo it until your outer one has no choice but to reflect it. Not tomorrow. Now this is the frequency of fulfillment. Plug in. There comes a turning point disguised as stillness, a kind of invisible checkpoint where your story gets offered a new direction. Not a reward, but an invitation. Not for the perfect, but for the ready. This isn't about wishing harder. It's about agreeing to drop what never belonged. The real transformation begins the moment you stop gripping history and let the future reshape you. Right now, what feels like pressure is actually calibration. a quiet restructuring of your inner blueprint. Systems reboot not because you beg for mercy, but because something sacred inside you says, enough. This reset doesn't ask for performance, it asks for presence. If you give that, the shift begins beneath the surface. Neurons realign, energy systems soften, and old echoes stop driving new days. You are not fixing yourself. You are letting outdated patterns die peacefully. What rises in their place is power. When the atmosphere changes, don't overthink it. No one announces the door opening. It hums, brief, brilliant, barely noticeable. But if you're alert, you'll know. If you wait too long for signs that feel familiar, you'll miss the unfamiliar miracle waiting to unfold. That's the sacred irony. The portal never waits for hesitation. Cross anyway. Not because you're fearless, but because your soul knows something real is calling. Those who walk through are rarely loud. They're simply awake, move without needing every detail. Trust that momentum is faith in motion. This is how you answer the divine, without speaking a word. You step forward while fear still whispers. Release isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a soft declaration, made with closed eyes and open hands. You're not being asked to carry everything. You're being asked to let go of what buries your light. Pain isn't your identity. It was a season, not your signature. There's no divine reward in staying small for comfort. The breakthrough is in the exit, from roles, masks, and heavy expectations you were never designed to wear. When your spirit finally chooses freedom over familiar struggle, something ancient unlocks. You don't rise by effort, you rise by honesty, by remembering that you're not here to be tolerated, controlled, or muted. You're here to ignite, and when you do, you don't just shift your world, the entire atmosphere bends to make room for the real you. Not everyone understands what it means to carry light in your bones. Not a spotlight, but a quiet brilliance that cannot be dimmed by noise, chaos, or memory. Something about your presence doesn't fit in places that once confined you. What once felt familiar now feels too small, too loud, too fake. You walk differently, not because of pride, but because something inside you broke open and started glowing. The universe has already whispered your name into spaces your feet haven't touched yet. The silence you're in isn't absence, it's a gathering. Forces aligning, timelines shifting. The unseen moving in your favor, not for attention, but for activation. And while it may feel like nothing's happening, everything is. The orchestration is divine, and the echo of your name is louder than any platform. This isn't about being seen by crowds. This is about being chosen in realms that require no audience. And that power, it begins in quiet moments when you tune into the voice deeper than thoughts, the one that speaks in knowing, not noise. Tonight, something opens that can't be seen with eyes, only felt through spirit. What's arriving was never uncertain, just waiting for the moment your energy said yes. And now, it has. You won't need to chase it. It recognizes you. You'll feel it like a pull towards center, not external glory, but inner arrival. The change isn't temporary, it threads into every month that follows. This isn't a mood shift, it's a personal rebirth. You won't shine because you try. You'll shine because your energy now tells the truth about your healing, your journey, and your authority. And the world, it won't understand at first, but it will respond. Eyes will soften, voices will lower, doors will unlock. Not because you demanded it, but because something about you now carries weight. Some won't know what changed, but you will. Because once the divine touches you at your core, smallness can't hold you anymore. You outgrow pretending. You stop negotiating your light. Your words don't just speak, they charge. Your walk doesn't just move, it leads. You're not just being told you're enough. You're being handed the pen to write from where you've healed. Not to edit your past, but to reframe what it meant. Everything that bruised your spirit, questioned your value, or stripped your voice, it's being transmuted. What once tried to silence you now becomes the power behind your roar. The reset isn't symbolic, it's cellular. You'll feel it like a shift in how you carry yourself. No more carrying what was never yours. No more shrinking for comfort. This isn't about rebranding, it's about resurrection. You've cried, crawled, rebuilt in private. Now you walk with a pulse that changes rooms. You don't need validation. You're here to remind the earth what divine looks like in motion. The chapter ahead doesn't erase your past, it gives it divine context. What tried to bury you only buried the seed. And now, you rise. There's a shift happening, not outside, but in the space where your belief meets your becoming. The very thing you've longed for hasn't been missing, just waiting for you to stop doubting your own worth, waiting for your soul to say, I'm not scared anymore. Miracles aren't hiding, they hover, listening for a mind that agrees with its arrival. Fear can't be in the room when fulfillment enters. That's why the blessing pauses, not as punishment, but to protect the unready from the weight of glory. But tonight, that changes. Not because the stars align, but because your inner world finally makes room. This isn't about asking for more. It's about making space, unclenching your grip, and calling it in like a long-awaited guest. The moment you stop questioning if you're worthy, everything changes its pace. Tonight, you prepare not by begging, but by setting a place at the altar of your becoming. You don't chase what's yours, you welcome it. Now is not just the right time, it's the time that was always waiting for your yes. When you rise tomorrow, something in the air will feel new, even if the room is the same. What altered wasn't the view, but the lens you carry inside. There's a recalibration happening under your skin. Not fantasy, but energetic fact. The system of your spirit has been updated, like software rewritten from code, laced with old wounds to one lined with new wisdom. That thing that used to press on your chest, it's not gone. It's just lost its grip. You'll notice it when conversations feel softer, when your reflection holds eye contact longer, when the air tastes like arrival. It isn't dramatic, it's precise. Your cells are shifting because your soul agreed to stop holding stories that no longer match the version you're becoming. And from here forward, the road bends with your frequency. The things that once resisted you now recognize you. Alignment isn't abstract anymore. It's the current carrying everything you once hoped for, now magnetized by your clarity. What's happening isn't motivation, it's transformation. And it asks nothing from you but honesty. If you sit in stillness tonight and let the noise burn off, you don't just wake up refreshed. You wake up reborn, not into perfection, but purpose. Somewhere, someone's asking for a light to follow, a voice to guide, a soul to remind them it's not too late. And without knowing it, their prayer is already being answered. Through you. This isn't just about what you get, it's about who you become for someone else. The healing you carry isn't for hoarding, it's for handing out in doses of hope, in glances that reassure, in presence that disrupts despair. You are being asked not to rise for applause, but for assignment. When you say yes, you don't just change your own life, You reroute the lives of those meant to cross your path.